Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Simply Sarah Show. My name is Sarah Tuck, and I will be your host for today. Today, our guest will be coming out of Gallatin, Tennessee. Her name is Minister Deborah Alston Barr. But before we get started, I wanted to remind everyone to please don't forget on YouTube to like, share, and subscribe.
After all the love I gave you, after giving life to save you, how you stood there and denied me, how you chose to crucify me. I only came because I loved you, and I was always thinking of you.
So, good morning, Minister Deborah Barr, and how are you this morning?
We're doing well. Thank you so much. It's a blessing to be here.
Good. It's a blessing to have you. First, we want to have you to tell us how you got started with the warm shelter. Is it something that just came up on your heart one day, or, did you see a vision, or had you been thinking about this one day? Is it something that you saw? Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, about 15 years ago, I was on the board of directors for Gallatin Cares, and I worked with Jane, who was the director. And we had a lot of homeless people then. And we were wondering why there were no provisions for them here in Sumner County, as big as Sumner County is. So way back then, we were trying to figure something out, work something out that they would have somewhere to go. But seemed like everything fell through when we were trying to, get the city and the county involved. And then maybe about 5 years ago, I was still kind of like, Lord, they need to do something about these homeless folk. And the Lord just said plainly, I told you to start a shelter. So with that, I went to my pastor who allowed me to start the Stay Warm shelter on a Friday night for the simple reason that he understands that God directs us to do for the least of these. So with that, the Stay Warm shelter actually started.
Oh, okay. And you said you and your husband started it, correct, Mr. Barr, as well?
Yes, he was involved. Well, actually, before I got married, I actually started the shelter,
Oh,
but and when we started the shelter for the first 2 years, going on 3 years, I think we actually financed the shelter ourselves. I'm a retired firefighter, so I actually got me a little part-time job, and that paycheck went to, to pay for the stuff at the shelter, and but it started from there.
uh, also, we wanted to ask and see. I know there's different things that you need, especially here during the winter time. Is it certain items that you need, or?
Well, basically, the things that a person would need that stays outside. I often tell people, what would you need if you lived outside?
Mhm.
You'd probably need a tent. You'd probably need a sleeping bag. You'd probably need some warm blankets, some hand warmers, hats, gloves. Different stuff like that. That a lot of people usually donate to the shelter. Um, and also, we house them January and February, but the Stay Warm shelter is busy all year long. We just house in January and February, which is the coldest 2 months of the year. But other than that, the rest of the time we're either paying for hotel rooms, paying utilities so that they won't get cut off. So we have a summer program which is called Watering His Sheep, and where we actually go out and take water and snacks and food, so we're feeding just about all year long. So, And it doesn't really stop there at just, feeding someone that's homeless. There's other things. There's referral programs that we do. We have doctor's appointments for some of them. And so it's a lot to it. It's just not just, let me just feed you today and I'll see you next week. No.
Well, that's good to know because I know everybody's needing a place to go all the time, but especially during the winter time so that they can have a warm meal and stay warm. So we thank you for, opening the shelter to help the ones in need. Um, Also, can you tell us where it's located and something
The
about?
thing The Stay Warm Shelter is actually located at the First Baptist Church Life Center, and that would be 290 East Winchester Street in Gallatin, Tennessee. And we're open every Friday from 8 p.m. until 6 a.m. in the morning. We have drop-off pickup points. One is at Walmart, one is at Waffle House, and the other one is in front of the public library downtown. So we have particular times that we'll be there picking up different people. And so we just invite you if you want to come on out and have a good meal and then leave, or if you just want to spend the night, we prepared for you.
Okay. And how many do you house a night when they stay on Friday or Saturday, whenever they stay?
Well, it varies. I had to learn a lot when it come to dealing with the homeless for the simple fact, a lot of them will not come to the shelter for the fact that someone else would get their spot. So that's really important to them. I already know that after doing it all these years. So what I do with them, I go ahead on, take out extra blankets, sleeping bags, different stuff that, in case they need it. And we go ahead and feed them there. We, take the food to them, so it has to be a certain coldness, uh, uh, drop down a certain degree that for some of them to actually come. Other than that, I just meet them where they are. If you want to come, okay. If you, just need me to just give you these few things that you need to survive the night, then, we ready for that too. So it's.
And I know it's been kind of hard to have a lot of people inside because of the COVID going on. So how do y'all manage that there?
Well, first of all, and that's for everybody, the volunteers, for me, anybody that comes in that gym. We have a young lady, Sergeant Jamie Harrison, and she's our safety and wellness officer for the shelter. She's going to take your temperature and you know um, record it down, and just so we try to space everybody out at least 6 feet, um where we all used to eat together at one table. We got like two people at a table now. So but it's we're doing our best to do our part, to keep my crew safe, and plus the people that come in.
And I noticed that you have a video that we're going to watch and put on here in a little bit. But before we do that, I know that you said that you have other people working with you. And I know, is all these people retired, or are they just set people, or different, people, or, how?
Well, for the first 4 years, it was just four of us actually that ran the shelter. Um, uh, Two more ministers from the church, and then Mr. Barr. And but this year, God has really blessed. He used Pastor Jacoby to gather up some more ministers and some more churches from around Sumner County. So they come on Friday nights, bring their church. They do all the cooking, bringing the food there. We bag it up and do everything that normally it would just be us four doing. And so that has tremendously helped us, in our efforts to be able to do more. So it's really been a blessing. So they're actually coming and watching how we do our program, so that hopefully maybe they will open up a night at their location. But it has really been a blessing, that God has used them to bless us, by coming to help.
Oh, good. And is there anything that you can leave with someone and tell them if they wanted to open a shelter, some type of advice you want to give them?
Well, the first advice I would give you is you make sure you heard God tell you to do that.
Amen.
So
Amen.
I'm telling you, a lot of people want to jump out and do something, and where God, if God told you to do it, then He's gonna, open the doors. He's gonna make, the crooked places straight and the rough places smooth. But other than that, there's a lot of things that you actually need to learn. And I would say just talk to somebody that has, done it for a while. It's in our nature to just want to help. But sometimes the help that you want to give, is not what they need. I learned that from a homeless lady, and I saw her and I'm like, oh well, she needs some clothes, she needs shoes, she need this, she need that, and she said, people need to find out what that person need or what that person want, and you do that by just asking them. And I wanted to do all of this stuff that I thought that she needed, and at that particular time, all she actually needed was a hairbrush, she said. All the other stuff she had, but so I mean, I'm like, okay. So I learned that, that's what I do now. What is it that you need for me to do for you? So that's one very important thing. But the thing that I leave with everybody, a little saying that I actually say, if you see someone homeless, or see somebody hungry and you have extra, please share. Proverbs tell us that when we consider the homeless and the poor, it's like lending to God. And God said, if you do that, He said He'll repay you. So we just like to thank you for inviting us to your show, and God bless you so much. And thank y'all.
Well, we're glad that you could come on today, Minister Barr, and we thank you for all the information that you have shared with us. And I hope that everyone has took something in with the message that she has given us today. Also, like she said, if you see somebody, especially during this time when it's cold outside, if you could leave them a blanket or call the homeless shelter, direct them to where this person was. And like she said, they do come out and feed them and bring them, or they can bring them a blanket, or even if you can leave them some food, anything
Hmm.
that you do will help someone. So once
Yeah.
again, we appreciate you watching the show today. And please if you would like to, be advised to go to Tuck's Production, excuse me, and at yahoo.com. And you can always leave me a comment, and I'll be more than glad to reach out to you. So once again, thank you. And till we meet again, sincerely, Sarah Tuck.
circumstances. If God is there in the midst, He'll never leave you or forsake you. I see my brothers hurting, I see my sisters crying. Things ain't working out, but Lord knows I'm trying. So many disappointments, so many hearts are broken. Lord, I need some answers, I need some doors to open. See, my money's low, and my bills are high. I've been going through, sometimes I just wanna cry. Nobody's reaching out, nobody's hearing me. It seems like nobody cares about what is dear to me. Oh, tell somebody you love you, grab somebody and hug her. Tell somebody you care, tell somebody, let them know you're there. God knows your struggle, God knows He's there in your trouble. He'll never leave or forsake you. You serve a God who loves you. Tell somebody you love them, grab somebody and hug her. Tell somebody you care, let them know you're there. God knows your struggle, He's there in your trouble. He'll never leave or forsake you. You serve a God who loves you. I'm trying to keep a smile in the midst of trouble. Why is life so tough, man? Why do I have to struggle? If you're a Christian, tell me, are you listening? What are you doing to show it? Hey, does anyone know it? Will you help me out? Will you lend a hand? Will you hear me out? Or can you just understand? You see, I'm tired of fighting, like my mind is rattled. Lord, I give it to you, because this ain't my battle. Tell somebody you love them, grab somebody and hug them. Tell somebody you care, let them know you're there. God knows your struggle, He's there in your trouble. He'll never leave or forsake you. You serve a God who loves you. Tell somebody you love them, grab somebody and hug them. Tell somebody you care, let them know you're there. God knows your struggle, He's there in your trouble. He'll never leave or forsake you. You serve a God who loves you. Like I'm out here lost, can only imagine what you were feeling on the cross. Can only imagine all the pain that you felt when you were giving this love and we were giving you death. And I can see the teardrops falling like raindrops, and they can't stop for this ill spot. Heaven is the main spot. You show me love, and that's why I trust ya. You paved the way, and I just wanna touch ya. I feel like I'm falling too fast. I can't see the light. How long will it last? I'm about to lose my mind when these thoughts go away. The devil sneaks in, but I gotta still pray anyway. Lord, I'm depending on you. It's okay. I know you're gonna help me make it through in this day. And when I don't know what to do, I fall to my knees and pray, Lord.